Hello everyone, how are you today? How's everything? How are you guys? Good?
Hi, Miss. Good afternoon.
Hello Catherine, how was the ceremony? Tell us.
Was great, Miss. Wonderful.
Yeah, good. Congratulations. Hello Maria, okay, and hello all of you. I hope you guys are well. Today is like class before, how can you say, like little vacations. Because tomorrow you guys do not have class, and then you will have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. Okay? So let me show you our agenda. Let me tell you what's the plan for today.
Teacher,
Yeah.
sorry. Hello, teacher. I can open the link about video, the class. I don't permit.
The video of the recording, that's what you mean?
Teacher, yes.
My God, why not, Beatrice? What does
But I open the link. Give me a permis.
it asks you for permission, right?
Yes.
I will talk to
no.
her. Okay, sorry, continue. Yes.
It's not open free the link, teacher, about the require the permit assets.
Okay, Beatrice, I will ask Carolina about it because she's the owner of the folder. So I don't know what's wrong. I will tell her, yeah, and I will try to fix it with her. She's the owner of the folder, so maybe she needs to give us access. Yeah, but I will tell her, okay? Thank you so much for telling me about it. I'm so sorry you missed the class by the video. Okay, so interesting topic for today because we will learn how to introduce points of view to an argument, yeah? How to express our ideas in favor and against any topic. And that's exactly what you guys need to do and learn for our project, which is controversial topic. That would be wonderful. So that's the plan for today. Here we are. We're going to start with checking or calculating what is the impact we give the Mother Earth, yeah, this planet, by calculating our ecological footprint. Then we will continue with the exercise that we did not finish last night about globalization. Yeah, very simple. We were checking some of the vocabulary, so we need to check the last ones, yeah, a couple of sentences that was part of your homework, and that way you can guys give your opinions on that. Yeah. Later we will work on listening and speaking. We will listen to doctor, yeah, talking about English as an international language. And I really love this topic because it's something that we all are interested in. Yeah, you guys are learning English. And then we will have a little game just to change the dynamic of the class. So at the end, we can introduce our points of view, yeah, in arguments, against or in favor. That's the plan. I think it's an interesting agenda. So this is the first thing. Okay, we are going to do this activity together. This is our warm-up, okay? I will give you the link and you guys will be answering the questions at the same time as me, okay? With this online calculator, we can see a measure of integration based on our consumption. Do you understand the word consumption? What is this?
Consumismo.
Yeah, el consumo. Yes, Beatriz. Yes, on our consumption patterns and everyday habits. It takes into account the natural resources, yeah, as well as the goods and services that we use in our daily lives. Remember that last night we were talking about that, yeah, about the products, about how we exchange products, yeah, the exports, the imports, yeah. So I think this is a very interesting activity because it will tell you how many planets, yeah, you will need if all people around you lived like you. Yeah, so we are going to measure that. We are going to calculate our ecological footprint. This, in simple words, means the impact, yeah, we give our planet with the way we live, with the things we buy, with the things we eat, with the things we do. Yeah, so I think that's very interesting. Okay, questions before we start? Anything, comments? Tell me.
Miss, I have a question. What is the meaning of overshot?
Oh, here, overshoot. Okay.
Yeah.
The overshoot day would be, Catherine, the day in which the earth will stop for you. And it will say, sorry, Catherine, there is no more planet for you because no natural resources, no water, anything. So overshoot will be like the end. Yeah, that is the meaning of
Okay.
okay? It's like, when is your personal overshoot day? So according to the things we do, yeah, we will see how many more planets do we need for living, yeah, if we continue living like we do, because you guys know that we are not taking care of the environment the way we should, yeah? So the overshoot day will be the end. That's it. Okay, let me see, Jorge wrote something. Yes, Jorge, that's a good idea. Birth control, for sure. Okay, so let's do it. Let's see how many more planets do we need. I'm so curious about your answers. Let me give you the link and we will be answering the questions together. Let me just check the attendance very quickly and we start. Okay, Karen. Hello, Karen.
Present, teacher.
Santiago.
Here, teacher.
Kiara.
Present, teacher.
Jorge.
Hi, present, teacher.
Natalia.
Present.
Diego.
Present, teacher.
Manuela.
Yes, teacher.
Very good. Sebastian. Let me see. Okay, thank you. Beatriz.
Present, teacher.
Xiomara.
Present, teacher.
Jessica.
Present, teacher.
Catherine.
Present, Miss.
Marlon. Marlon. Mandy.
Teacher, good evening. Present.
Okay, Mandy. Manuel.
Present, teacher.
And Maria. Oh, no, sorry. Maria. And Vanessa.
Present, teacher.
Thank you, Maria. Vanessa. Vanessa, hello. Okay. So let's work on our activity. Let's calculate our ecological footprint. You guys, okay, you guys have to follow the instructions and do it at the same time as me, okay? You guys have the link in the chat. Let me show you how it works and what you guys need to click on. So, okay, I'm going to share my screen, but of course you guys will be answering the questions on your own, okay? First, here, if it asks you to change the language, of course you will click on the cross because you need English, okay? Here we are. Tell me that all of you are there. Thumbs up if you guys are there. The same as your teacher. Are you guys there? Let me see your
Yes,
stuff.
teacher.
Yes, Miss.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, very good, Manuela. I'm not sure if you have a question or if you are telling me that you are done.
No, teacher, no questions.
Okay, thank you. Well, good. So let's start. You click on take the first step. Click. And here we are with the questions. It should appear something like this. Tell me if it doesn't work like that so I can help you. Because maybe they ask you to donate, but of course you don't have to do it. Okay, so is it like that for all of you? Yeah, okay, I hope it is. So let's start. How often do you eat animal-based products? You guys will answer according to you, okay? I will do mine as well. So you guys move this, never, very often, maybe occasionally. Yeah, it depends on you. In my case, let me see. Very often, my goodness. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so in my case, very often. I don't know your answers, but you are doing the same, okay? When you are done answering your question, click on next. This arrow, look here for the second question. So you click and then the question appears, okay? How much of the food that you eat is unprocessed and packaged or locally grown? Interesting. Okay, so how much of the food you eat is organic? Yeah, that's the idea of this question. So in my case, maybe this is my answer, I guess. No, less. Yeah, not so organic. Okay. Less, 20%, Jorge? I think we are pretty much the same. So I will be a little bit down, 25. Because we try, but yeah, it's so hard, I know. Okay, good. When you are done with this one, you click on the next arrow for the next question. Okay? Which housing? Yes, sorry, questions?
Yes, teacher. Is for the often. We have daily and daily. What is the difference between them?
This one? Okay.
Often. In often.
Here, when you select like this, for example, often is like very frequent. Yeah. And what is what is the difference between often and what was the other, Manuela?
No, the words are daily and daily.
Daily and daily. Daily, every day. Dairy would be all the products made from milk. Yeah, lactose. That's what you mean? Daily. That's daily food. Yeah, lactose. And then every day. Okay, so I will go back to my answer. It was 25. Thank you for your question, Manuel. Now we are talking about housing. Remember that last night we said that housing is any type of place for living. Yeah, it could be an apartment, it could be a house, it could be a mansion. Yeah, remember that last night you guys learned about urbanization. So housing refers to that. Housing, vivienda, okay? So Which housing type best describes your home? Okay, let's see. Multi-story apartment, duplex house. Okay, maybe the first and the second one will be not my option, but maybe between this and this. Questions about this one? Okay.
Yes, teacher, I don't understand freestanding.
Freestanding, but you don't have any neighbors around, any house next to you, any building next to you. It's just your house and that's it. Your place. It could be maybe for the countryside.
Okay, teacher.
But these are different. This one with no running water and the other one with water. Yeah, that's the difference.
Teacher,
Yes, Jorge.
and no running water means that you don't have access to water?
Exactly. It is what it means. Yes, Jorge. Yeah. Any other question? The multi-story apartment is maybe that you have a building. Store, remember that is referring to the floors, right? So maybe there is a building with many apartments and you guys live in one of them. Okay, that's it. Row house, that you have houses next to you, like in blocks. Like this is pretty much like the most common way or housing we have in Colombia. And luxury condominium will be very fancy. Yes, fancy, expensive. Okay, so let's continue. What material is your house constructed with? I think most of us have this one, brick and concrete. Yeah, it's pretty much like the most common one. Okay, when you are done, click on the next arrow. Now you guys have other questions. How many people live in your household? Household means the place you live in, okay? And what is the size of your home? So in my case, we are 4. And it is like, well, here is in square meters. I don't know, but I have an idea about maybe this. Okay, tiny is very, very small. Huge is very big. Yeah, so those are opposites. Tiny, huge. Okay, click on the next question. Do you have electricity in your home? Yes or no? How energy efficient is your home? I think it is very efficient because you guys are holding this call. Yeah. So if it can hold internet, you know, conferences, yeah, it is efficient. So I would say very. But here, temperature control and ventilation, no electricity. Passive heating, yes. And you click on next. What percentage of your home's electricity comes from renewable sources? Do you remember when we were talking about housing and like benefits and things and renewable sources? We are not that way in our culture, right? Not in the city. So I will say low. I will say 5% or maybe 0. I'm not sure, but it's very low. Well, you know, to be honest, I will say none. So it's 0.
Solar panels are very expensive for normal people.
Yes, Jorge. You're right. Do you guys understand this question? Questions? Okay.
No question.
No? Okay, perfect. Next one. We are about to finish. Don't worry. Compared to your neighbors, how much trash do you generate? That's interesting. If I see, let me check. I have a house next to me, and I think they have like lots of trash, but the other one, not so much. So I will say same. Yeah. So here, same. Not much less or much more. Okay. And the next one. How far do you travel by car or motorcycle each week? So you guys answer. Okay. It can be either as a driver or passenger, okay? No matter the way you use the vehicle, okay? You can be the driver or you can be a passenger. Well, this one, 0 for me, and this one, it will be like this, I guess. Not so far, but no 0. Okay. Next one. What is the average fuel economy of the vehicles you use most often? Inefficient, efficient, or electric? No, we don't have electric. Well, it's not common, electric cars. Okay, so I will say, I'm not sure about liters and kilometers. Maybe you guys can help me. But let me see. This one, for me, is none. And here I will try to calculate pretty much like the same of the previous question, because I'm not so good about liters and the other things. So this one. Next, when you travel by car, how often do you carpool? Here we have new vocabulary. Do you understand the expression or the word carpool? Is it clear for you?
It's like wheels.
What do you mean, Manuela?
In the university, we have carpool, call it wheels.
Okay, yeah. And this is also an action that is to share the vehicle with other people. So for example, I say, hey, Manuela, we're going to university at the same time. Why don't we carpool? It means that Manuela and I use the same vehicle. Yeah, that's carpool. Do you understand, guys? Yes?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Let me see who's not in the meeting. I'm missing one. Okay. Carpool, share the car, share the vehicle, compartir el carro, okay? It's like, hey, we are going, or maybe some people have 2 vehicles in the house. Why do they have to use both of them if they are going to the same place? Yeah, they can do carpool. Okay, so in my case, always. And the last one, oh no, 2 more. How far do you travel on public transportation each week? Bus, train, etc. I'm not really talking about the platforms will be public transportation, but I will say this, maybe this. Okay, and the last one, for calculating your ecological footprint, how many hours do you fly each year? Well, in my case, it's just like pretty much once a year when I go on vacation to another place that I require to fly, but pretty much like twice a year, so it will be 6 hours, I guess. 2, 2, 4, 1, 1. Yeah. Thank you, Vanessa. Okay. And when you have here, click on skip to view my results. Do not worry about signing up. You don't have to do it. Okay, click on skip to view my results and tell me the results in the chat. My goodness, it's so bad what I'm doing to the planet. Look, if all people lived like Sandy, we will need 4.9 Earths. So that's so bad. Give me your results, guys. Come on. Terrible, Kiara? The same as your teacher or worse?
Yes, teacher, so terrible.
Okay, guys, type your results in the chat. I want to see. My God. 5.1. Oh no, Kiara. Worse than me. That's terrible. 7, Maria. Oh no. 3.7, Karen and Manuela. Okay, not so good, but better than us. The rest of you guys, tell me, how many planets would we need if we lived like you? 5.9, Catherine. Oh no. Diego, my goodness, 4.9. Not so good. The rest of you? How many will you need, Manuel? And how many will you need, Sebastian? 3.2, Jorge? Well, better than us. Oh, yes, Vanessa, we're about to finish, but it's okay. I will send it, no problem. Actually, we finished. Well, let me see. Yes, Catherine. So, can you imagine and calculate the overshoot day? It means like the day when we will be over from this planet very soon, December maybe. 3.7, Sebastian. Oh, well, better. Okay, you guys can check out more details. You guys can have more information. For example, here you have facts and figures. Yeah, statistics. Here you can mark how do you feel about the results. In my case, shocked, of course, not inspired, worried as well. Yeah, you can also explore your data, yeah, with more information. But this one I think is more for premium accounts. So here you have like the results in detail by consumption category: food, shelter, mobility, goods, services. So we are not very good. Look, this is the land type. Here you have more information. Your ecological footprint will be 7.9. Your carbon footprint, this one, your carbon footprint is terrible. Santiago, 4.5. Oh no, not so good. Well, my dear friends, that was just an exercise for warming up our brain. And I think it was interesting because at least we can just connect to what we do to our planet. Okay, and that's everything about consumption, of course. The mass of Mars is 1/10 that of the Earth, and the size is half that is the Earth. Thank you for those facts, Jorge. I think we should worry about that. Yeah, well, maybe we start changing a little bit the way we live. Okay, my dear friends, awesome. If you want to explore more, you have that website that is very interesting and it has like very good information. And if you want to donate, you can do it. Okay, here you have solutions and lots of things. Look, more information if you want to just study it in detail. Okay, good, but we need to continue. What's the next thing we have for tonight? Okay, our activity from last night. Okay, that was something that you guys were about to do, but because of the time we did not finish. So let me go through the other ones that we were discussing and then you guys can do this. Last night when we were talking about globalization, here we were discussing this. I remember this was part of your homework that you guys had to check out if you had questions on this. We discussed until brain drain, fuga de talento. Yeah. So we are missing this. Actually, I think we finished with them. No? Okay. Many of the because we discussed the whole vocabulary, yeah, but we did not discuss this. What is the intention of this exercise? Is to discuss with your classmates, yeah, which of these, yes, have happened in Colombia. Yeah, because we all share the same country, yeah? So which of these have happened in Colombia? The idea is that you guys choose 3, only 3. Yeah, and that would be easier and faster. Maybe one of you, yeah, like selects one and you guys have the 3. Okay, so let's continue with this. We were here. Now, mass tourism from abroad has really changed some parts of the country. Mass tourism means lots of people coming to our country for tourism. Mass tourism will be turismo masivo, yeah, like a lot of people. So has it happened to Colombia? What are the most touristic areas we have in our country? Boys and girls, what are the most touristic areas?
Miss, I think Cartagena, Coast Caribbean, maybe.
Yes, Cartagena is very
Medellin and Cali.
yes.
Santa Marta, Bogotá.
What was that? Yes, I
Andres
did.
Island,
Which one, Kiara?
San Andres Island.
Oh, San Andres is very touristic.
In Guatapé, I saw some international tourists.
Like people, foreigners, yeah?
Yes,
Extranjeros,
yes.
yeah. Yes, lots of them. Last night we were talking about this and I asked you, what is our country known for? And some of you told me for Medellin, yeah? Because lots of people abroad think that we are just Cartagena and Medellin. Those are the only places, yeah, that they talk about. Maria, this is page 6. Page 6. Okay, very good. So what you have to think about is if this has happened to our country, that, okay, mass tourism from abroad has really changed. It's not like they have come, because we will be continuing receiving, you know, people from outside the country. But do they really change some parts of the country? Like, for example, I'm not sure, Tayrona Park, if the tourism has changed, yeah, like maybe we have less natural parts, like green belt areas, remember that, yeah? So that's your analysis. Okay. People eat more imported food rather than local produce. When you say rather than, it's a preference, okay? It means like en lugar de, okay? So more imported food rather than local produce. I think it's true. I'm not sure about which exactly which products, but I think it is true. So you guys discuss that and tell me. People have a higher standard of living. What do you think about this one? Interesting.
Like un estilo de vida alto.
In Colombia?
Yeah, estilo de vida alto, yes, that's right. But do we have
in
it?
some cities.
Yes.
Or in a small percentage of the I remember, I forget.
Yes.
Llano Grande, Río Negro.
En una pequeña parte de la población.
Yeah, so it has happened to us. Yes, I think you guys are right, because the housing, yeah, renting is more expensive, food's more expensive. Yes. Okay. There has been a brain drain of talented people going to work abroad. Yes, Diego, is it one of the most expensive cities in Colombia? Wow, interesting. Maybe I do not know it because I have not lived in another city different from Bucaramanga, I mean, Colombia, yeah? So maybe I have not noticed that. Thank you. Okay, remember brain drain, yeah? When people move, after Bogota and Medellin, yeah, they are very expensive. Thank you, Diego. Okay, brain drain when they move to another place because of their job. So we are losing that potential, okay? Many of the goods we buy are made in sweatshops in other parts of the world. Do you remember our discussion with sweatshops? Yes? Bad conditions, low wages for the workers, illegal places, okay? We are more vulnerable to global financial crisis, for sure, all around the world. Jorge, I didn't know that. Llano Grande, interesting. People have become obsessed with global brands. What do you think about this one? We discussed all of them, but global brands, it was something that we did not talk about. You understand the word brand, right? Brand is a label. Yes, label for your shoes, for your clothes, for the goods. Yeah.
Yes.
So global brands, more like the ones that are worldwide spread, like Nike, Adidas. Yeah, what else? Those
Calvin Klein.
yes. So think about that. You have those global brands and think about Colombia. You guys have to think about us, yeah, the way we live, okay? If Colombians have become obsessed with global brands. Rio Negro, Antioquia, yes. Okay. So, my dear friends, I will send you to answer your questions very quickly. This is something that we already discussed yesterday, yeah, so I don't think you guys will spend a lot of time. You have to select 3 because the groups are groups of 3, so I think 3 is okay. 1 per student, that's fine. Let me send you the link. You guys go to your slides, and what do you have to do? Look for the number of the slide that belongs to your group. Okay, if you are room number 1, you guys work on slide 1 and that way, okay? Go ahead. I will send you to your slides and we are ready. If you have questions, just call me. Okay, go ahead, guys. Let's do it. Xiomara, what is your room so I can send you?
Teacher, I was with Catherine.
Okay,
Really,
you are, okay, room 3. Okay, Xiomara, go. Marlon, what's wrong with you? Tell me, why can't you go to the room? Okay, guys, thank you so much for working so hard. Let's share some of the answers and the points you guys discussed with your classmates. Here we are. Our first group shows immigration and immigration and mass tourism. There's more immigration than immigration in Colombia now. Colombia has received during the last few years a lot of people from Venezuela. I know, years. Okay, remember that we also use capital letters. They are escaping from Maduro's regime, okay? But in Colombia, many people have also emigrated in search of better opportunities. Yes. Mass tourism. Of course, mass tourism has changed some parts of the country. For example, cities like Bucaramanga, which has, let me just change it here, which has a lot of immigrants from Venezuela. Yes, thank you so much, Mendy, Kiana, and Jorge. Finish the second one, please. Here we are, Vanessa, Karen, and Diego. They chose mass tourism as well. Yeah, so I'm not going to read that one, but the other two. In Colombia, they say that it is a secular country, but this is not true. The intolerance for other religions increased year after year. Yes, we are not more tolerant, we are less. I agree. In Colombia, globalization has resulted in the presence of more multinational corporations and a decrease in local businesses. Examples of that would be Coca-Cola and Nestle. Yes, very good job, guys. Okay, what else do we have here? Catherine and Xiomara. They chose being Americanized, the brain drain, and what was the other one? Okay, technology, good. There has been a brain drain of talented people going to work abroad because they don't find good opportunities. Okay, that's right. I would like to know, especially which, like jobs, like about what kind of talent. Good. Our culture has become very Americanized in a bad way. Okay. In a bad way, because people think about buying brands from other countries and don't defend local businesses. Society seeks to be more like Americans, leaving behind our cultural identity. Yeah. Okay, and the other one, the main reason for the change in life, not only in the country, but worldwide, has had a great impact on technology. Due to technological advances, the way of educating changed, daily activities changed, and likewise work life. We think that the current and future generations will not be able to live without technology. I think we are living it. Very good job, girls. Thank you, thank you. We have Manuela, Natalia, and Beatriz. There's more immigration in this moment because the people prefer to travel and learn, and learn other country. So, okay, maybe and know other countries. Yeah. So the economic in Colombia is bad. The economy. Yeah, the economy. The economy in Colombia is bad. Also, the people like to earn more money, for sure. Now that the dollar, okay, that the dollar grows up very fast. Yes, grows up, okay. Very fast, not faster, no, very fast. Or faster. Okay. Our way of life has changed considerably in the last years, and these changes can be attributed to various factors. For example, society has experienced significant social and cultural shifts, particularly in terms of diversity, inclusion, and equality. People have been making lifestyle changes, prioritizing sustainable living. Yeah, remote work has become more common for sure, and people can work while traveling around the world. Yes. And we have Santiago, Jessica, and Maria. Thank you so much, Natalia, Beatriz, and Manuel. I think a couple of you did not work today, Manuel and Marlon. Okay, Santiago, Jessica, and Maria chose immigration and immigration as well, tolerance of cultures and religions, and being Americanized. Yes, Manuel, tell me.
Teacher, I was in the phone, so I made it, but here.
Okay.
So that's why I couldn't like write in the slide.
Okay, so maybe later you can register, okay, Manuel, so I can take you to account.
Yes, teacher.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, there's more immigration than immigration due to some of the Latin countries are passing through crisis. Reason why the people prefer come to our country, where there are more labor opportunities and a cheapest lifestyle. So, okay, and a cheaper, because you are comparing it with other places. However, by the same reason, people from North American countries and Europe are coming to our country because they own a stronger budget. They own a stronger budget. Good. There is greater tolerance of culture, okay? Because Colombia is a secular state, so you guys are against the other ones who chose this topic because they say no. And different to other countries, this ever has been placed with much biodiversity, which touch the different communities to learn how live together. How we live together, I guess. That's what you mean. How we live together. Which, okay, good. Our culture has become very Americanized because the capital cities, as rest of the world, have been influenced by the idea of the USA. Okay, is the biggest nation in the world. Okay, wait a second. Have been influenced by the idea of the USA. It is, okay, by that idea, okay. By the idea that the USA is the biggest nation in the world, that according how the USA sells its image in the trade. Sales. Okay, very interesting. Your opinions are very interesting. And it's so wonderful to see how you guys think differently from your classmates, yeah? Because some of you or lots of you chose the same topics, but with different arguments. Awesome, guys. Thank you for working. Okay, Marlon, is there anything you want to tell me? You did not visit your room. Well, I think it's busy. Okay, so next thing is to check out this. We are going to have this all connected. What do we have to do? In order to learn or check or review some introducing phrases, yeah, to our points of view in arguments, the idea is that we need to check an interview here with Dr. Jennifer Jenkins, but the recording is so long. It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes is a lot. Yeah, so let's do it like this and tell me if you like my plan. We're going to listen to it, of course, because that way we can introduce these sentences that we need to study. Yeah, but we can do it as read along. You understand read along, like when you listen and you read and you're checking pronunciation and also reading comprehension. That way it's not so stressful to pay attention to the recording for 5 minutes. Yeah, so let's do it like this. We listen, we read, we check, we stop paragraph by paragraph, we check out the vocabulary together, we try to understand what this doctor wants to say, And later we can use that information, yeah, with this introduction of the sentences. That's my plan, because if I play the audio for 5 minutes, you guys will be very sleepy, or maybe you will be very stressed, or maybe you'll be very bored. So I don't like that, okay? So let's do it like that. Let me give you the introduction. This Dr. Jennifer Jenkins is talking about English as an international language, which is a very interesting topic. I have a question for you. What do you think would be the second global language? Because we know that the first one is English, right? If you go to Italy and you do not speak Italian, you can easily communicate with people there if you speak English. Yeah, that's why it's a global language. So, French, interesting, Beatrice, really? Why do you think it's French?
Because about the Canada,
Ah,
in this country speak both language, English and French.
French. Very, very good observation. Manuel says Spanish. Why, Manuel?
Because there are we are like, I don't know how many, but we are many countries here in Latin America who speak Spanish, also in Spain. So I think we are a lot of people. So there are many people speaking Spanish in the world.
Thank you, Manuel. Marlon agrees with you. He also thinks Spanish. Yes, you know what? If you go to the States, I don't know if you have been there or if you have noticed that, but they have, for example, ATMs or machines with both languages, you know, English and Spanish. There are a lot of people who first language is Spanish, migrating to other places. But well, I'm not sure, and maybe we'll have to check out like other aspects. Catherine says Spanish. I remember 13 years ago when I was going to go to the States, I heard that the second global language would be Mandarin. And 13 years after that, I don't see it. And to be honest, I don't see people learning Mandarin. You know, I don't see people keen on learning Mandarin. So maybe they were just creating that assumption because of the high population they have, right? Maybe, I'm not sure. Kiara thinks that's Spanish. Yes?
Me,
Yes, Catherine.
Maria Alejandra can speak Mandarin.
Ooh, yes, Maria? Awesome. I was going to be like a little girl, like, hey, can you speak? Or maybe when people in your house tell you, hable inglés, hable, no? Haven't it happened to you? Haven't you experienced that? Maria, little? Interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, so that's the topic. We're gonna be talking about learning English as an international language, okay? And I think we will learn like lots of vocabulary. Okay, I would like you to please pay special attention to this. The pronunciation of TH. What this doctor says about that, okay? What does she say about British and American idioms? Remember that idioms are phrases that are part of regions, you know, that refers to very colloquial language. Yeah, the way we speak in a very informal language, yeah? Uncountable nouns like information, the third person S in the present simple. She will tell us something about this, so if you pay special attention to this, because it's a long recording, when we are socializing and answering the questions, it will be easier. So let's do it. Let's listen and read. Let me see if I can do it at the same time. We're gonna be here.
Unit 1.
I'm going to stop. We are moving to the audio script. And then we play it again. So if it's necessary, we need to stop paragraph by paragraph, no problem. Here we are. Interviewer and Jennifer Jenkins. Let's go.
Recording 2. I've come to King's College London to talk to Dr. Jennifer Jenkins, who's a senior lecturer in applied linguistics. Now, Jennifer, you're quite interested in the teaching and learning of international English. Can you explain in general terms what this is?
It's based on the fact that nowadays the majority of people who speak English around the world are non-native speakers of English. They've learnt it as a second or subsequent language. They use it to speak with each other. And therefore, they're not really learning what's always been called English as a foreign language, English to speak to native speakers of English. They're learning it for a more international communication. And that has all sorts of implications for the sorts of things that they need to be able to do.
So,
Okay. Let's stop the first one because it's a lot. So here we are. She's talking about what is it to learn English as an international language. And I like this, yeah, when she says here, the majority of people who speak English around the world are non-native speakers of English, like you and me, yeah, because we are Spanish native speakers. They've learned it as a second language, the case we are doing it now, I mean you guys, or a subsequent language. Do you understand this, subsequent language? Any idea?
Like a third or fourth.
Yes, but it refers more like the way you get it. So it's more like, for example, little kids. They learn it, they acquire it, for example, in school. So if Manuel, when he was a little kid, yeah, went to the United States, his first language is still Spanish, yeah? And then it will be a subsequent language because he had to be, immersed in that English language, so that will be that one. Let me speak Spanish. Un idioma posterior, en este caso se hace referencia un poquito más a la manera como se aprende, como se adquiere, ¿sí? Ustedes saben que hay inmersión y aprendizaje. You guys are learning English, you are studying it, yeah? It's different from going to another place and just being forced to the immersion and you acquire the language. That would be a different context, okay? En el caso de un lenguaje posterior, un idioma como este, tendrían que hacerse referencia a la forma como lo aprenden. Entonces el niño fue al colegio y estuvo inmerso en esa cultura y esa es su lengua posterior. No le está aprendiendo como tal, sino está siendo, digamos que forzado a aprenderla, sería su lenguaje posterior. Su primera lengua sería una diferente a inglés, en el caso de Manuel, que estudió esa case. Estuvo en Londres, ¿sí? A los 3, 4 años entró al jardín y aprendió inglés de esa manera, okay? That would be the subsequent language. And in the case of you that you are learning English, that would be the second language. Okay, perfect. So that the idea is that she says that lots of people are learning it, speak it, but they are not English native speakers. What else? Okay. They're learning it for more international communication, and that has all sorts of implications, okay, for the things that they need to be able to do, like listen, comprehend, speak, communicate, yeah, okay. Sort of means type of, kind of, is the same. Okay, let's continue.
So what would be the main differences between the kind of English that's widely taught around the world today and perhaps what you describe as a more international form?
Well, there'd be various differences. There'd be differences in what they need to be able to do when they're pronouncing English. There would be some differences in the grammar. There'd be some differences in use or not of idioms.
Is there anything that's widely taught when teaching English that would be missed out in international English?
Yes, I think, for example, that there doesn't seem to be much point in teaching learners to say the TH, the th and the sounds, because most of the world's learners of English, speakers of English who are non-native speakers, don't pronounce the th.
Interesting. Here we are with the same thing about the Yeah, we try to do it. And if you ask me about how to pronounce it, I will teach you and I will tell you to do it because you are learning it. Yeah. But if you are there, immersed in the culture, getting the language and acquiring it, it will be different. Maybe we wouldn't take care about those things, little things. Yeah. Like, hey, Karen, don't say she had, say she has, yeah? Because that would be like when you want to speak it, you know, like very well, when you want to learn it, when you are actually learning it. But if you are there, what is the main purpose? If you are, for example, in the United States and your English is not so good, but you try, what is the main purpose of using English in that context, guys?
To communicate, teacher.
Communication. So when that's what she means, yeah. When it's an international language, yeah, the way we learn it, yeah, is more about forgetting about the little details, like the th. You say Thursday, maybe some people will say Thursday. Yeah, so the th is hard for us because in Spanish we do not have that sound, and that's what she means. Like, okay, most of the words learners of English speakers of English who are non-native speakers don't pronounce them. Yeah. So we'll say thank you or Thursday, but thank you. Just the T. Okay, very good. What else does she say? I don't know if you have any question about the vocabulary, just ask me.
Teacher, sorry, about is American or
Yeah.
the is sorry is British, yeah? The is American, yeah?
Yes and no. You know what is even worse? That it depends on the words. Yeah, so both of them exist in both English, American and British. Yes.
Okay.
But this one is more for the beginning. It sounds more like, yeah, like Thursday, thank you. And the other one that is a little bit like a D sound is more for the end, like the truck, you know, it depends. So in the case of the one that you say here is, for example, the article. Yes. So both of them exist, no matter the accent, no matter British or American. Okay. These are phonetic symbols. You guys, let me show you something. When you are doubting about pronunciation, yes, Beatriz, continue, please.
Miss,
No, Catherine.
Catherine,
Miss, for example, American people can pronounce that perro, because it's so difficult for them.
Because they have it very weak. The
Doesn't exist this word, that sound in English.
It's so funny and curious because they have it when they say right, all right, you know. So in some cases they pronounce it, but it's so hard for them because in other words it's very weak. Like, I don't know. Well, like at the end of the sentence, of the word, sorry. So yeah, they really struggle with that. You know, there are some documents or articles that will tell you what are the most common problems we have in pronunciation according to the region you are from. For example, native speakers really struggle with the TH. We don't have it in our dialect. And we really struggle with ED at the end. Los verbos en pasado. It's so hard for us to pronounce it because we don't use those sounds. Like, for example, when you say, okay, let's do it together. You guys do it. How do you pronounce? I'm using the chat. How do you pronounce this? How do we pronounce this? And how do we pronounce, okay, and this one? Okay, guys, help me. How do you pronounce the first one?
Wanted.
Okay. The second one
Clean.
Cleaned.
Cleaned.
and the last one.
And talk.
Talked.
Talked.
Do you make the same three sounds at the end or different?
Different.
Yes.
Different.
Different. Yeah. In the first one, we added another syllable, like wanted. In the second one, we just used the D at the end, which is for me is the most difficult. Cleaned. Yeah. And the last one, the T, that is talked. Yeah. But sometimes we forget about that, and as we do not have that language, yeah, as the first one, it's hard for us because we don't use it in Spanish. And there are thousands of things to talk about pronunciation, yeah. So this is my recommendation. These are the phonetic symbols. These are the different sounds you guys should be worried about pronunciation. Remember, it is, for me, I don't know, it's my opinion, it is not important to acquire a very neat and exact accent because we have our accent. Yeah, there are lots of people outside Colombia that do not care about accents, and that's okay. That is something that we shouldn't be worried about or embarrassed about. But pronunciation is important. Yeah, we keep our accent even if we don't want. Yeah, it is okay. Unless you train very, very, very hard your pronunciation, you will get a different accent, but it's okay. So how do you pronounce this one? The difference is between the phonetic symbol. So let me see because it's very small for you. Anytime you have doubts about pronunciation, you go to Cambridge Dictionary and it has both of them, British and American. Yeah. So look.
Cat.
Okay.
Cat.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Cat.
If you don't take cat, you will be talking about the verb.
Cat.
The verb cat. That is this one. Lots of my students say could. I don't know why, but it's hard.
Cat.
You see the different sound? Look, this is the phonetic symbol that describes the different sound. And there are 12 vowel sounds in English. In Spanish, it's very easy. A, E, I, O, U. How do you call my name in my country? Can you say my name, please? Say it.
Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy. Ah, that's it, because we just have A, E, I, O, U. In English, they have E, A, O. They have different, so we'll say Sandy. Yeah, so phonetics has lots of things. Okay. Well, we were talking about this because Beatrice asks about GH. Let's continue. Here we are. And what is the thinking behind the idea of international English? Here we are.
And what is the thinking behind the idea of international English?
Well, there are two things. One is that the more different groups of people around the world speak English, the more important it becomes to make sure that they have enough in common so that they can understand each other, that they're intelligible to each other. And here, pronunciation is very important because their pronunciation is the thing that will vary most among different speakers of English.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing would be that now that English is spoken as an international language, nobody owns it anymore. The native speakers of English don't own it, and so don't have the right to expect everybody else around the world, when they speak English, to conform to native speaker ways of speaking, that everybody has the right to develop their own ways of speaking English.
So what would you say are the advantages for students and teachers of this form of English?
Well, one advantage would be that they actually have rather less to do, rather less to learn, because instead of trying to learn the entire way of speaking of a native speaker, which is incredibly complicated, and most learners never do achieve this in any case. So they've got less to do, but they're also allowed to keep something of themselves in their English. They're speaking English as, say, a Japanese speaker of English, or an Arabic speaker of English, a Spanish speaker of English. and therefore they are allowed to be themselves in English.
Right. And how do you see English learned and spoken in, say, 30 years' time? How do you feel it will have changed?
Well, the English that's being spoken internationally.
What's going on in the chat? Okay, thank you. Well, let's discuss this part. For the whole thing that we have listened here to, what do you have to say, your comment or ask? For me, the summary of this whole paragraph is that she thinks that more and more and more people are talking English. Oh, thank you, Jorge. Yeah, stress. So anything here for talking about? She says that we can also create our way of speaking English, which is interesting, but I also agree with her about pronunciation. And that's what I told you, and that's what I tell my students all the time. It is not to pretend we have a perfect accent. You may say that about me, yeah? That's okay. I'm a Spanish native speaker, so that's why I don't have the perfect English accent, yeah? But I really worry about pronunciation. It has to be clear, you know? So that way you don't have lots of problems in communication. Okay, any comments here? Thank you, Beatriz, for raising your hand for that.
Teacher, sorry, about the deeds, well, teacher, I have a question about the pronunciation is very important. Why the people, Indian people, don't speak very well? I don't understand the people Indian. These people thoughts are very fast and confused. Why is important the pronunciation? Why it sees people the English faster, or I don't know. It's
I
very
understand.
yeah.
Sorry, but sorry for interrupting you, Beatriz. I understand, and to be honest, I don't have an answer for that question. Maybe we worry a lot about it. I see that Latin American people tend to be very embarrassed about the way we speak English, and that's one of the things why we do not learn it faster than the others, because we are so shy about that. So that's my invitation for you. Try it. You know, like take advantage of all the times you guys can speak, even if you do it in a wrong way, because that's the way we really improve. Yeah. But other people, that's my perception. Yes. Other people there outside, like for example, North Americans, people from the United States, they don't care about pronouncing the wrong way. They don't care about anything. They are just repeating whatever they listen to. And I say it because I live it. Yeah, and that was like the way they just, you know, get the language. Europeans, I remember I was standing with an European guy there, and he was all the time repeating what we said in Spanish, and he was learning like this. Well, of course, we do not have the facility Europeans have. To be honest, we don't, because Europeans know like 3 languages at least. Their own language, the language from the neighbor, and English. Perfect English. And here in Latin America, we really struggle. I don't know why it's not part of the culture, but well, we are getting, you know, in that process of changing that. Yes, Beatriz, I agree with you, but for me, it's even worse how Brazilians speak English. Oh my God, for me, it's so hard to understand what they say unless they have tried the pronunciation. And it's because they don't care. And I say because I work with some Brazilians and they didn't care about changing their pronunciation. They have this accent that is very, how can I say, musical. Yeah, it's like a song. So it was so hard for me to understand what they said. And they didn't even care. They were just saying things, you know? And it was like, come on, try. Yeah, because when it is an international language, yeah, we could not speak our language. So it's even harder. Thank you for your intervention, Beatriz. Jorge, what is the perception? Jorge.
About a pronunciation of Indians.
Okay. So maybe it's a generalization. Yeah, it's not the same for all of them. But it's a common thing. That we think. Thank you for it. Okay, let's finish with this. I think the topic is very interesting because you guys are learning English. I think this gives you an idea about, okay, do it, try it. Do not worry about your accent. Do not worry about, I don't know, like doing it wrong. Just try. Okay. Where were we?
I think, for example, we'll have no longer, say, British-based or American-based idiomatic language, because this is not useful for international communication, so that will have gone. I think that quite probably the nouns that we call uncountable nouns, like information and so on, will have become countable nouns for international use. I expect in Britain we'll carry on talking about information as a piece of information, but quite possibly the rest of the world will be saying, sorry, informations, without treating it as an uncountable noun. I think quite likely the third person singular S in the present simple tense will have gone for international use. I think in pronunciation, I think the th sound will have gone, and possibly the sound as well. Most learners will say, instead of th, will say a th or a t, as most of them do anyway at the moment, but it will just be legitimate then.
Okay. This is very, very interesting. You guys may say something like this, teacher, but if the first purpose of learning a second language or another language is communication, why do we have to worry about grammar? Yeah. And it's something that I wouldn't answer, because you guys are right. Why? Yeah, if you understand that she wants to say that she owns something, and you say she has, yeah, but the right way she has. So it's like, oh my God, I just tell my students, well, because we want to do it well. Yeah, we want to speak like they speak. So that's the idea. But of course, in a moment in which you need to communicate and you use bad grammar, you are just fulfilling the main purpose, that is communication. Okay, this girl says that giving these arguments, the present simple S is something that lots of students forget, even if they have a high level. Yeah, you say, I don't know, this book show interesting topics. We say this book shows. Yeah. Another common thing is with uncountable nouns. It's so hard, and I have seen how hard it is for students who are Spanish native speakers, because we tend to compare everything. And if you say el pan, me comí un pan, dos panes, tres panes, and they will say no, bread is uncountable. So we struggle with that. Okay, and what was the other one, guys? She mentioned 3 problems. The present simple S, the uncountable nouns like informations, and what was the other one?
Pronunciation.
Thank you, Beatrice, very good. And the pronunciation of those sounds. Yeah. Okay, so let's finish this with this part.
There must, on the other hand, be students who will want to speak English the way that they perceive it to be spoken in Britain or America. So what would you say to that?
Well, I'd say, first of all, I'd want to explain the facts to them, the fact that they are the majority, that the non-native speakers of English are the majority. And having explained that, and also the fact that they're much more able to express themselves, who they really are, their identity in English, if they keep something of their background, of their mother tongue, I would then say that we can't patronise learners, that if learners still want to learn to speak as closely as possible to a native speaker, say of British or American English, it's their choice. And the important thing is to give learners choices so that they can make up their own mind what it is they want to do.
Well, Dr. Jenkins, thank you for talking to me about that. It's interesting to see how far things change.
Okay, my dear friends, I think we need to finish, but I think it was very interesting. Yeah, because she gives us the idea of, okay, you are doing it and you are doing it right. Yeah, keep going. What you are doing is polishing everything. Yeah, because at these levels, we try to get very, very good at communication. Yeah, that's why speaking is very important. You have lots of knowledge in your mind, lots of knowledge, yeah, in your brain. So now you need to go beyond with your speaking skills. Okay. If you have more questions, I will just talk about this next class, but let me just give you some friendly reminders. Tomorrow, we do not have class, okay? According to the new calendar, we do not have class. Second thing I would like to say is, if you receive a call from the Language Institute telling you to go and get your certification, yeah, it is okay. That's part of the protocol. We already told our secretaries, please not doing it because you guys will receive it via email, okay? So don't worry about it. Have you received that call, guys?
No,
Receive.
Okay, so maybe just in case if you receive it, because students from the other group already did, and they told us. So it is okay, okay? Everything is under control. Have a wonderful break. Have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you next Tuesday, guys. Bye-bye, take care.
Bye, Miss.
Bye, take care. See you next Tuesday.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Thank you, teacher. Good night. Bye.
Bye, take care.